Hello, everybody. Welcome to LT Outdoors Sunday Night Live. I'm going to share this real quick on Facebook before we get started. Let's see. All right. What are you doing, turd? Well, you got to come up. Hello, everybody. I hope you guys are all having a great week. Hopefully, some of you guys have been able to get out and fish. I know where I'm at here in Michigan, it's been extremely windy every day. From the wind, it's been just ridiculous. So I'm hoping this is going to be a better week. They're calling for it to be a better week, but I never know what to judge on the Weather Channel because they seem to be wrong all the time. Hey there, Dean. How you doing, buddy? Good evening to you too. Lot of new stuff to talk about this week, guys. I've got some interesting things to chat about. I do have a new bait coming out, so I'm happy to talk about that. Even though I will be ending with the original Panty and Pig Pounders, I'm going to be making a new one out of a new plastic, and I'm going to show you guys tonight what the plastic's like. And I'll talk about the website that I got them from. But it's really good. I practiced with them today. They're good. I didn't want to use them. Didn't want to push them for you guys until I knew they were quality plastics, and they definitely are. They actually hold up better than my other ones, so I'm pretty pumped. Hey, Neil. Hey there, sis. Hey, Ian. Hey, John. How you guys doing today? I see I got 21 of you. Please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. Hey there, Jen. Hey, Jen says, hi, jammers. Hope you're doing good, Jen. Tell Mark I said hey. Oh, hey there, John. Oh yeah, I got some new friends today. Yep, got a few horses here now at the farm on the LT farm. So they're not technically my horses; they are my friends' horses. However, they will be living here, so they're going to be my little buddies out there. So it's kind of nice to go out and see the horses. Hey there, Dan. Good, glad all is well, Jen. Hey there, Barry. I'm doing all right, buddy. Oh. Yeah, that's something, Jen. You'll be excited to see next time you guys come around this way. I've got 3 horses here now. So, hey there, Tony. Hello from Muskegon. Hopefully, the weather's been a little better over on the west side. Hey there, Terry. Down in Hoosier land. See, I tried to hide out for the most part this weekend because today's the end of it, thank God. But this is free fishing weekend, right? This is the weekend that if you don't want to buy your fishing license, you and your friends can go out and fish on all the lakes and stuff. I hate this weekend. I really do. I try to stay away, but yeah, it's been nasty. It's been windy. The mayflies are starting to hatch, which I'll discuss some of that. That's going to make things tough. When they start hatching, fish will shut down. Sometimes they only bite early in the morning and in the evening. So it's pretty cool, Jen. Pretty cool. Yep, got 3 horses here. I figured it was the buddy of mine that did the roof. He came to me and asked if they could board their horses here. I said they could use my whole rest of the property. They're even talking about getting a donkey. So, and I love donkeys, so I wouldn't mind that at all. Where the bluegill go post spawn? Yeah, actually, they won't be far at all from where they spawned at, Jim. They're pretty easy to find post spawn. Usually, they're really close to where they were. They're going to be in any structure around the area that they spawned and right along those drop offs. A lot of times during the daytime when the boats are out, especially high traffic lakes, those fish are going to go on the edge of the drop. They might even be down in the deeper water a little bit. But in the mornings and evenings, you're going to find those fish right where they spawned, right around those same weed edges and stuff. Post spawn's pretty easy to find them. Yeah, it's been really windy for sure. Hey there, Johnny. Yep, roof is all good, man. Roof is done. Yard's cleaned up. For the most part, things are looking good around here. Like I said, the guy that did the roof, I'm letting him keep the horses here at the house. So got horses now on the farm and gonna have the rest of the farm. I've got 5 acres for those of you that didn't know. I've never done anything with most of it, so that's gonna be all used by my buddies, and they can do whatever they want. So Yeah, the wind's been bad. I swear it hasn't stopped. It's been every day, and I was really excited because it looked like a few days ago they said all this week was going to be nice. Now they're changing it. If you go back through the weather, it's saying windy, 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 and maybe not windy. Like they don't know what they're doing. They really don't. Drives me crazy. Oh, there you go, John. There you go. Yep, you could definitely do that too. See, I don't like being around people. So for me, this weekend would be even in a campground would just be hell because there's going to be way more people trying to take advantage of all that next weekend for the week. There you go. I know they're doing good on the Lakers for sure. How big of a spread do you have? Not sure if you're talking acreage or what you're talking, John. I got 5 acres total though. Hey Rick, how you doing, buddy? Yeah, yep, that is true. But the problem, Kevin, and the reason I said that the fish shut down is because when the mayflies hatch, so they'll hatch in very large numbers all day long, and they hatch so fast in the mornings to where those fish will be full most of the day. A lot of those fish will get full and shut down completely for most of the day. I mean, if you hit them right, if you see those fish popping mayflies off the top, heck yeah, throw a mayfly out, you're going to catch fish. Or tell you what, me and Rick did it the other day when they were pounding mayflies. The Freedom Baits Hornet looks just like a wiggler, a mayfly larvae, a wiggler in the water. We were throwing these and they were pounding them. But again, it's only right up until they fill themselves. When they get a big heavy fill of the mayflies, good luck. They'll shut down on everything. No, no, and it don't look like I'm gonna get to now, Barry, because I've got I got two more baby geese that were born just the other day. Right now they're about that big, so now I'm stuck at home watching these baby geese for probably a month. Once I get them out, now the geese should be done. They shouldn't be having no more babies this season. So yeah, once these two are grown up, then I can go back out. Hey Steve, how you doing, buddy? Hey, it's Brain Spates. How you doing, buddy? Hey, by the way, guys, Brains Baits that just hopped on here right now. I will be talking about him and his plastics. Like I said a little bit ago, if you missed it already, I am making new baits. Okay, my panty pounder and pig pounders, the originals, are going to come to an end. However, I ordered some Brains Baits to test it out. This one here is the one he calls Hobo color. It's like a peach up top with the chartreuse tail. You can tell already just from me stretching it this thing it takes some pull, man. It does. It puts up with a lot of pull. I fished with it today. I caught a whole bunch of bluegills, bass, sunfish, stuff like that, and they didn't even tear it up. And they got this little paddle tail on the back end of it, which gives it quite a bit more action in the water. When that blade is going, it really gets that tail just a whipping. And like I said, they're a lot more durable, which is epic because I loved my originals, but yes, they got tore up fast. People kept wanting to know where they can buy the plastics, but it was hard to find them. But Brains Baits is easy. He's got a big website on eBay that you can get these at. So if you're ever looking to get, some of your own plastics for these setups, you can get them on there. I've also right now got the zombie blood one tied up that I wanted to show you guys. I'm going to have 20 of them. However, I've picked out 20 of his colors and I emailed him, just waiting to hear back from him, and we'll get things straightened out. And once I get my first order in the mail, I'll start tying them up. Right now, I've got these are the two colors I got right now, and they're in limited supply. I've only tied up 20, which I fished with a couple, so I've only got like 18 of each of these right now. So, hey there, Mark. How you doing, buddy? Paul is driving. Hey, Paul. Paul and the family. How you guys doing? Did Jessa have a game or something today? At a UP ground reservoir for nice perch when they're hatching. Yeah, like I said, it's they can be really good, but as soon as the fish get too much of a feed going on them, they fill themselves up fast, and then everything shuts down. Now, if things go right, I'm going no matter what. But if Rick can go, it'd be great. I'm planning tomorrow to head to a trout lake, a special trout lake. It's a type D, which means you can only keep one trout out of there, and they got to be pretty dang big. But that's nice because you can catch some really big, beautiful trout. And that's what I'm going for tomorrow. I not only want to cross my master angler Brookie off the list tomorrow, but also wouldn't mind trying to find one for the wall. I'm gonna be honest. If I can find one that's beautiful for the wall, I wouldn't mind that. So, yeah, I got a couple things I want to do tomorrow. It should be fun. It's a bit of a trip, but yeah, it should be a good time though. Hey there, Mike. How you doing, buddy? You're welcome, Brains. You're welcome. And like I said, guys, I can't say enough. I went to his website. Brains Bait is going to be the guy now that I'm going to be getting my plastics from. Again, Brains Bait's on eBay. If you go there, check him out. What I think is amazing about Brains Baits, okay, and I can't push you too much because I am sponsored, but I do want to say this because he's got some stuff that you can't get anywhere else. This guy, he calls them salamanders, but they are legit mud puppies. He has plastic mud puppies, which I have never seen in my life. I thought that was cool as heck when I seen that he had actual mud puppies. I don't know where you got that mold brain, but dude, they are wicked. So yeah, he's got mud puppies. I think that's cool as heck. He also has a snake, a big old snake. It looked to me like a big water snake. Wicked. So yeah, he Brains Baits on eBay. Check him out. That's the plastics I'm going to be going with now. They're beautiful. I think they're also scented, but like I said, they are definitely a lot more durable than what I'm used to. So that is going to be a big plus no matter what. I think you guys are going to enjoy it. Oh, grad party. Heck yeah, there you go. That's always fun. Hope you guys got to eat real good. Hey there, Dennis. How you doing, buddy? Long ways for one fish. Not in my mind though, John. I mean, I'm not looking to even get one to eat. If you're going a ways to get a trophy, I mean, what you're not going to want to keep 5 trophies if it was a 5 fish lake. Why? I mean, why would you do that? In my mind, if you go to a trophy lake and keep 5 giant fish, that's just killing the you're ruining the system. So I would never want to keep that many big fish to begin with. But if I can go out and catch one big fish, and not to mention, just because I'm only going that far for one fish doesn't mean I'm not going to catch a ton of them. I mean, there's nothing saying you can't catch and release. So I plan on catching as many fish as I can, but I am going to keep one fish. If I can get one beautiful fish for a mount, that's what I'm going to do. But for the most part, I can catch and release. I have a video on here already. If you go to it, it's kayak trout fishing. You'll see exactly what I did on a few. I fished, I think, 3 different lakes that day doing it. Tons of beautiful trout caught under the kayak on these lakes, and they're really big. So, hey there, Rob. How you doing, buddy? Oh, I hear you. It's been busy here too, man. Yeah, we had the roof getting put on, the yard getting cleaned up. I got my garden in. Garden's looking great. Rototiller quit working, so I got to get that going again so I can get the yard up. I need to try and get a better bump board though, guys. I'm definitely in need of a good bump board, probably one of those hog troughs or something, because I'll tell you what, trying to measure a big fish, if you've seen in my thumbnail tonight, I've got a monster bass. All right, it's probably the biggest bass I've caught maybe ever. And that bass, I didn't have the measure thing with me or nothing that day, so I was mad. But in the kayak, I've been trying to measure them lately, and I've been trying to weigh them, and it is so hard to measure them on the regular bump board. I think the trough might be better because they can lay in it, and they probably calm down. But trying to lay them on a flat measure board, they're just freaking out the whole time, and it takes a whole lot of work. I don't like keeping them out of the water long, so it's yeah, I just don't like doing it. But yeah, I'm hoping to get a better way to measure them up. Definitely about the experience. And I didn't even mention this. The best part about it is usually if you go in the morning, you can see some elk. You get to see wild elk, and that's way worth it. So, oh yeah, pools are a pain in the butt. Yep. My parents were mad at me when I was a kid. Story time. I we had one of those pools that was, like chest high for everybody, and ended up planting fish in there. Nobody was swimming in it, right? And we didn't use chlorinated water. We just filled it with a hose. I just started filling it with fish. I had that thing loaded with so many fish. and it was awesome. I'd go down there. I was like 17. I'd flip an ice rod out there with a cricket and or a grasshopper even. I'd just slay fish out of my swimming pool. I would love to do something like that again. That was fun. But well, it's yeah, I would just, I love my fish on the wall. I'm dying to get a pumpkin seed. I'd want to get it done right. It's got to keep those beautiful colors. Definitely got to get a beautiful pumpkin seed. And I want to get a brookie, a gorgeous brook trout for the wall would just be awesome, but it's got to be done just right. So not really. That's a whole 4 different counties up there, and there's a whole bunch of lakes like that. It's actually a section. There's probably 30 lakes up north that you can fish in the woods with big fish. I mean, they're in the fishing guide, so you can't. But the best part about it is you can't take a boat on them. I mean, you're only going to get in there with a kayak. If you fish from shore, good luck. There's not enough room from shore to catch anything. So thank you, Dean. Yeah, if you guys haven't already, please hit that thumbs up. I see I'm at 40 people watching and only 23 thumbs up, and it does help. So I appreciate it. I will mention again, though, I'm going to be starting to make new baits. Okay, guys, I thought I was done, and I really didn't want to be because the panty pounders and pig pounders just they help with my bills. They keep me afloat, and I was really bummed if I had to quit. So the fact that I have a new bait maker really made my day. Brains Baits is great, and also he's in it to win it, right? This guy, we talked about it. He said that he's planning on doing this forever, so I'm not worried about losing another bait maker. This guy's in it. So, like I said, I've already tied up some. I was out fishing with them. They're more durable than the last ones, which is great because I did get a lot of complaints about that, but people loved them because they worked. I loved them. However, this one here is more durable. They've got a really cool little mini paddle tail on them, which gives them more action. I'm going to try to keep the same prices if I can on them. I really don't want to raise them for any reason, so I'm hoping I can keep the same price. It's all going to depend on how much I have to pay for the plastics, but we'll see. Hopefully, I can keep the prices. That color I just showed you is what he calls hobo, and then this one here is zombie blood. It's more to me. It looks a pretty good natural crawler, but he also has a natural crawler color that I ordered. So or I'm gonna order. I gave him a list of 20 colors that I'm gonna want to order. So yeah, well, it's funny because they were mad until they weren't. Because mom enjoyed as much as I did going out with a butterfly net and just scooping up grasshoppers and throwing them in there. I mean, it was fun watching those fish. We had a lot of the most mad. They got real angry though because it came towards winter. We didn't get all the fish out and empty the water, and it ended up ripping the liner. But it's not like anybody swam in there anyway. Nobody swam in there. So hey there, Levi. How you doing, buddy? Thank you, Terry. Yeah, I really didn't want to stop making baits, so I'm happy as heck that I came across Brains Baits on eBay there. He's got a really cool store with a whole lot of different plastics. I mean, he's got a lot of neat ones. I wanted to, John, but it cost a whole lot of money to start getting into molds. Money that I don't have. I don't have any kind of money towards that. I did want to talk also, guys, because I've been doing, and you're going to enjoy this. I started doing. Hey there, Tom. How you doing, buddy? I'm glad you're on too, man. I've been doing some topwater fishing lately, which I know people love. Okay, I love it. Everybody loves it. It's fun as heck watching fish just pound stuff on the top. So I want to talk about topwater fishing a little bit here. I have some topwater baits I'll show off. You guys will see some of my videos coming up soon that I do some awesome fishing. That giant bass that's in my thumbnail tonight was caught on a mouse, on a topwater mouse. So I've been having a ball with that. I mean, I'm still fishing other stuff. I've got a wacky rig video coming up where I went out, fished with the Freedom Bait Sea Wolf and just slayed all day. I think I caught 26 bass that day on the Sea Wolf. I mean, I've been killing it. It's been fun. So bring back Bay City. Well, I just finished tying up the last of the Bay City breakfast tonight, buddy, and I tied up 50. So I've got 50 of the pig pounders in Bay City breakfast right now, and I think yeah, I've still got probably 40 of them in panty pounders. So I've still got the Bay City breakfast. I will probably send Brains Baits. I'm sure he's up for checking out new colors. So I'll probably send him some of the ideas. I'll send him pictures of the Bay City breakfast and see if he's up for that, because it does sell pretty good. Actually, all three of those last new ones sold good, so I would like to get them back. Nightmare has been selling like crazy, as well as the pink margarita. So yeah, I wouldn't mind getting those colors all going on again too. So oh, there you go. Yeah. I did that a lot as a kid. We never got any big enough to really eat though, but I loved catching them. You could let a fly swing in front of a frog and you'll catch them. But the frogs I'm talking about are fake. Love fishing with them, guys. It's fun as heck to watch fish grab them. And I think my favorite part about throwing a frog is literally you could throw in the thickest stuff godly possible. Like you could, if there's lily pads out there that are lined up next to each other everywhere with reeds and grass and everything else, you could throw in the middle of that and be guaranteed that you're not going to snag up. It is very rare that you snag up on a weed using a frog. And the only time you really do is if your frog gets water bound, which happens when it gets pulled under sometimes by a fish, and then you just squeeze it and it's like a squirt gun. It'll squirt the water out of the frog. But I wanted to show off a couple frogs today. One of them, to me, I'm probably going to poke some jokes at this, but it is a really cool product. All right. This is the Stanford Company Boom Boom Frog. And, I just tested it out the other day, so I haven't got enough really testing into to push it too much. But I do want to say some neat things about this frog because it's one of a kind, that's for sure. It's got some interesting qualities to it. Now, with this Boom Boom frog, it's got what they call frog fur. Okay, I think that's hilarious as it is, but it's got this fur on top. It's almost like a Velcro, like the soft part of the Velcro. Now, they claim that this right here gets caught a little bit in the sandpaper kind of teeth of the bass. It's made to grip the bass's teeth better because if you've ever thrown a frog, you know as well as I do that when they jump out of the water and start whipping their head, most of the time that's when they chuck that frog. If you're going to lose that bass, it's either when they're tangled up in a whole bunch of weeds and stuff, or it's when they jump out of the water. So this frog fur is supposed to actually help you stop from losing those jumping fish. So I think that's cool. Pretty much all the frogs on the market come with these skirts for feet, which is great because it does add to attraction. Also, what's cool about this Boom Boom frog, it actually has a totally different texture to it. It's just I wouldn't say softer, but it squeezes nice. And what's good about that is these are so weedless, right? They have to be to go on those pads. But a lot of the cheaper ones, though, are so weedless that they might not squeeze enough to get a hook set. You need these things to squeeze just right so that those hooks show just like that, so that they end up getting into the bass. You got to get that hook set in the mouth. That's very important. But these things are set up nice. The hooks are spread out right. I think these are perfectly set up. The hooks are even lifted up a bit, so it's almost not weedless, but it is. They've got it. They've got a system down. All right, and I'm not sponsored by these people or nothing. I'm just legitly saying that these are a neat frog. The frog fur is interesting. They also have eyeballs because of the fact that fish are attracted to eyeballs. They have eyeballs underneath the chin. It's just interesting. It's something you don't see on them. And then, of course, they're weighted. Most of the frogs that you buy are weighted up in the front or in the middle. These ones are weighted in the back. Now, they're not weighted to sink because frogs are made to float, right? The people that make these frogs, they really know what they're doing. They weight them just enough to where they can stay above water, but yet they're heavy enough to throw. If they didn't have a weight, you probably couldn't throw them. But these things are made to throw good. They're made to set good balance on the water. Everything about these are great. I even love, I mean, you can see the thickness of that eyelet is insane. They're using really high quality, thick, sharp hooks. They're very sharp. And the eyelets, I can't say enough. These are like a $10 frog, but if you're going to put the money into it, it's going to last, it's worth it. And like I said, this frog's made for better catch rates, so you're not going to lose as many, which is definitely something you want. It's always frustrating when you're constantly losing. So I did have a what was the white and pink bait you use? I'm not sure which one you're talking about, Barry. I put so many videos out there. I think you're talking about the white body with the pink tail. That's the Barracuda by Freedom Baits that I use. Hey there, Rob. How you doing, buddy? Sometimes they won't hit a fly. A piece of crawler is automatic. Yeah, sometimes. I guess it depends, though. I mean, the bad part about a piece of a crawler, Kevin, is the fact that everything will eat it. You cannot be. See, I like to be exclusive when I'm fishing. If I'm fishing for bass, I don't want to be fishing for bass and catch a million little baby bluegills or a bunch of that. That's how I do so good on numbers of fish that I'm after. Now, if I'm just out, that's where people go wrong when they're throwing a worm. All right, the old fashioned days, if you just throw a worm, sure, you're going to catch fish. If you're only out there to catch fish, throw a worm. All right, you're going to catch fish, but you could also be catching every little goby, every little shiner, every little baby bluegill. You cannot get away from any other fish with a worm. They're all going to eat it. Okay, there's no way around it. That's why I like to try other baits. That's why, the topwater frogs, for instance, big fish. You know, if you get a bite on this, it's not going to be a little bitty bluegill or anything like that. It's going to be a good fish. So if I'm out after big fish, that's what I want to throw. I'm not saying big fish, big lures, because these really aren't that big considering the size fish that you get. I do like to fish smaller baits for the big lures, but I am saying that if you're targeting a bigger fish like a predator fish, I definitely wouldn't go with a worm. Um, you're just going to catch everything and anything on a worm. So if you really want to catch numbers of a certain species, figure out what works best for those species and then go from there. Oh, talking about bullfrogs, I gotcha. I think I don't know, man. I've never found a frog that you can't. I mean, you could probably swing a piece of gum in front of it because they it's more of an anger thing, and the fact that they're sensory, they're built to bite things that go above them. So if you've got anything and just let it swing above them, I think that the frog would literally eat anything. I would. I mean, I've caught them on everything. Yes, crawlers definitely work a little bit of crawler, but god dang, I have caught a frog on you name it, man. Even a little piece of a plastic, anything that swings in front of them, they're gonna just hammer. That's what I wanted to talk about next, Tony. Thank you. Hey there, Max. How you doing, buddy? Hey, Jason. I wanted to show you guys too. This is another brand here. This is the Booyah Pad Crasher, which I have used these before. This is a good one. So is the Scum Frog. I can't remember who makes the Scum Frog, but I do like that. I'm trying because I love fishing frogs. I'm trying to fish a bunch of different brands this year just to show off, so you guys can see how they all work. Because every frog is a little bit different. Hey there, Biggs. How you doing? But this is the Booyah Pad Crasher. I do love the realism of these frogs. They just look, if you've ever seen a leopard frog or the white one, I'm not sure of, but it's beautiful. But this is the perfect leopard frog color. The weight is right. The best thing about frogs, you want to get one that's perfectly balanced, okay? And most of these good brands like Booyah and the Stanley, they're balanced well, and that's what you need. And this frog, like that other one, like the boom boom, it's got a good squish to it. I think when the fish bite that, you're going to get a good push down on it, so where those fish get that hook set, because that's a big thing. If you've got one that's too tough or something, it's going to take an awful lot to get that hook set. You don't want that. But like I said, best part about these frogs, my favorite part about the frogs, is they are literally 100% weed proof. You throw these things as deep as you want into the lily pads, and that's the best part. That, I mean, you can fish spots that are normally unfishable with a frog. If you find a spot that you go, oh man, there's probably some big fish in there, but I can't throw, I'll get hooked every time on the weeds, throw a frog. Or a mouse. Like, you'll see me using that new live action field mouse soon in a video, and I hammer them with that too. But any of these topwater baits like that by Lunker Hunt and Booyah and even Stanley here, they're all epic. So doing great, Benate. Oh man, that's no good. Tell you what though, you're not missing out. It's been really windy every dang day. Hey Mike, how you doing, buddy? I know you missed it earlier, so I'm gonna show you real fast before I go on more frog talk. This right here is going to be my new style of plastic. I am going to be making a new one so that I can continue my pounders. Now, I didn't mention this earlier, so this will be new to all of you, but I am going to stop making the panty and the pig pounder are going to be combined, okay? Because this is a 3-inch worm, so it's I'm not going to have my 2 3/8 like I had on the panty pounder. So I will basically be getting rid of one, but in return, I'm combining them. But I have learned that if I spread my hooks out, I'm starting to spread them a little further for the 3-inch worm. You're going to get just as many good hookups on panfish with this as you would anything else. I caught a bunch of panfish today. So yeah, these are going to be really good. I'm going to have them in 20 new colors coming out really soon. Right now, I've only got 2 colors done, and they're in short supply. I got to order a bunch here soon, but that's what I got going on right now. Buzz baits are fun. Yep, buzz baits are fun, but they're not 100% weed proof. They're fun, but you can still get hooked up a lot on those. They can, I mean, weeds can get stuck in the dang propellers, which drives me nuts. But Stanford Baits is what makes the Boom Boom Frog. It's made by Stanford Baits. Boom Boom Frog. And it's funny because I seen this come across. It's one of those things where you know Facebook's stalking you, but sometimes I don't mind it. Uh, Facebook knew I was using frogs, and then all of a sudden this ad comes across my screen for the Boom Boom Frog, and it talks about how it's got frog fur and all this other great stuff, and I love it. They come in really cool colors. This is the only color I had ready to show you. The other one's out in the boat right now, rigged up, so I couldn't show you that. Scum frogs are good, yep. But I'm telling you, Scott, this new Boom Boom Frog, it's better than the Scum Frog, and it's got what they're calling frog fur on it. It's almost like some Velcro. It's supposed to help hold the teeth a little bit, make it harder for the bass to throw. So yeah, wind's been stupid. It's annoying, really is. Swim baits, that's cool. Yeah, weedless stuff is nice. I'm gonna have a I'm gonna have a new bait to show you guys next weekend too. I can't remember the name of the company, but it's a eel that I ordered. It's like an 8-inch eel, and it's made for pike and muskie. It's pretty dang cool. So I'm gonna have that going on here soon. Time to throw for pike. Lots of mushrooms. Yeah, the mushrooms will be coming up pretty good, especially with all this water we're getting. All right. I mentioned I'll talk about it, so I'm going to talk about it now. Uh, Somebody asked earlier about if I use steel eaters. Now, lately I've been using braid, okay, and I think I've been using 20-pound braid, maybe 30. Pike still bite it off. All right. I've been watching a lot of videos, and I do use Power Pro. That's my favorite. If you're interested in the best kind of braid, in my opinion, it's Power Pro. I've been using it for years. They have really thin line, like compared to other stuff. This is 50-pound test. It's the diameter of 12. Okay, that's hard to beat. If you're using 50-pound test, but it's only the diameter of 12, that's pretty dang cool. I've been watching a lot of Topwater programs and stuff, and a lot of the guys do use 50-pound braid, and it seems a little overboard, but I'm telling you, you want enough line, heavy enough where you can yank those bass out of the pads, because when you hooking them, yes, it's a little tricky. You get the hang of it, but that's not the hard part. Pulling them out of those pads is the hard part when you hook those fish. You got to keep that rod up and try not to give them any give, because those fish, if they get into those pads, they can tie up, they can make a mess, and that's when they can get off. You don't want that to happen. So you got to try and keep them up, try and keep them out of the pads, and you need some heavy stuff to do it. Now I'm going to start using 50-pound braid. They can probably, I wouldn't doubt if pike can still bite through the 50, but I'm going to give it a shot. Otherwise, I'd say use fluorocarbon, probably 50-pound fluorocarbon leader, tie up instead of a steel leader. In my opinion, it's going to probably tie up a little more in the weeds. You're gonna hook more. It's going to make your bait less weedless. If you tie up a um, fluorocarbon leader, though, it's not going to be that way. It's going to not give extra weight, unneeded weight onto your top water. Should be pretty good. But 50-pound Power Pro is what I'm going to start using. Going to give it a shot. Me and Officer Paul are going to be doing a bass tournament here in a couple weeks, and I'm trying to learn as much as I can about everything right now. I'm trying to get all the bag of tricks because who knows? I might not be throwing these. If it's really windy, frogging is not the way to go. Windy days are not any good for that. I like to have a day that's kind of calm, or at least calm enough where you can make some splashing on the water with that frog. Otherwise, it's kind of useless. They're not going to see it. So 9 pound largemouth. Wow. Where'd he get that at? That's like unheard of up here. I've heard of some really nice pike over in Maine. I was just telling Steve that the other day. Connecticut, Maine, you guys like there's supposed to be some good pike fishing off that way. Yeah, oysters. I've been seeing. I don't get them on the pines. I find them on the poplars. They grow on dead and dying popple trees. Power Pro Slick. Yeah, I agree. Power Pro is great. Yeah, it's really good stuff. I've never owned a. I would like to get a bait casting reel one day. I've never had one. I would love to have one and learn it. However, I just haven't. I haven't had the money to get one. So this is, but this on a spinning reel is excellent. I'm sure it'd be good on a bait casting reel too. But strong, thin braid. Yep. Oh yeah. Yeah, you go. Oh, I know that. I just cut into my finger the other day. Stupid me, man. All I was on a lily pad, and I didn't wasn't expecting it to break or nothing. I knew it wouldn't break, but I'm trying to pull the braid, thinking the pad would at least pop off before it cut me. But no, it ripped. That braid will rip into your fingers pretty fast. I mean, that's yeah. It's like tooth. It's like floss for your fingers. 6-inch stainless leaders. Yeah, that's one way you can go. Like I said, though, I mean the top water stuff. If you're trying to go 100% top water and you are throwing in the thickest possible stuff, that leader will make it a little less weedless. You're going to still hook up into some things, and yeah, it's going to be a little rough. But short steel leaders, yeah, yeah, steel leaders are. Yeah, I've never had a pike bite off a steel leader either, but at the same time, I try not to use them if I don't have to. Um, I think Gemma ended up chewing that one up, Rob. I think she got back a hold of it. She hasn't chewed anything in a long, long time. It's been months, but she chewed up one of my GoPros and a bunch of other good stuff. And I'm pretty positive because I keep my extra fishing reels right here on this counter. I'm pretty sure that was one of them. I'm almost positive on that, and that's why I haven't used it because that was a really nice reel. But that would have been good. But no, right now I've got it on my what did I put it on? Um, I think I've got it on a Shimano. I've got two reels rigged up with Power Pro right now. One of them's not as thick as the other, but oh, private pond. That's still pretty awesome though. That'd be fun. Yeah, I'd like to play with them one day. It'd be fun for sure. Charles River, that was the one I was reading about. Yeah, that's supposed to be like one of the top spots over that way for pike, I guess. That's cool. I don't eat the bass, John. I just catch them and let them go. I mean, I do. I'm gonna have to do a catch and cook one of these days, just to because there's so many people out there that think that you can't eat them. They're good. They're really good. I've eaten them. That was my mom's favorite fish, and she passed away. I think it's been 4 years now. Might even be 5. I don't know. It's been a bit, but when she passed away, I haven't really kept any since because I would keep them every year for her. But yeah, I'll have to do a catch and cook soon. But I don't even eat. Man, if you pay attention to my videos, I throw back 90% of my panfish too. I mean, even especially the big ones. I like letting things go. I only keep. I could I could honestly catch fish to eat every single day if I wanted. So I'm not worried about it. I go out if I want to eat fish, I'll go out and get some for a dinner. Otherwise, I just catch and release all day long because you know what? If I wasn't going out there and doing it, there wouldn't be no videos for you guys. So, I go out and do it for content. I do it for fun. I do it to learn. Every single day that I'm on the water is a learning experience, no matter what. I am always picking up a new trick. Doesn't matter what I'm doing. I am always learning something new. The fish teach me things all the time. Yeah, Gemma has good taste. She chewed up my Roku remote, and she's been doing really good though for quite a while. I can't say anything bad. She's a good dog. Catch and release everything. Yeah, I mean, I just there's once you start getting into catch and release, there really is a great feeling you get from it. Especially the big fish. You get a feeling of an accomplishment catching them, and I mean, by the time you get home and fillet them, I mean that's all work. That's all. I don't know. I don't feel good about it when, especially big fish. If I go home with a big fish and I just fillet it up, boom, you're just throwing that fish away. That's 10 years of that fish's life, or maybe more. I mean, I don't know. I like throwing them back. There's there's enough good fishing spots out there. I have been fishing. I bet you I have fished 20 different places this season already, and I've done good everywhere. I have. I'm trying to prove that anywhere you go is good. You just have to learn it. Most of the time, Rick will tell you, it's usually a last minute thing. You will work all day to figure that lake out, and then boom, the last hour or so, you were just on fire. But it's always a learning experience, and that's what I love about it. And when you do learn a lake, then you can go back every time, fish that same way, or fish the same areas for the same species that you found, and you can usually do good. So it's nice to learn these lakes, pick up some tricks on each lake. I just love doing it. I really want to travel more and figure out more lakes in the state because to me, it's an adventure. Every single lake, going around every new bend, every new patch of lily pads to see what they hold. I mean, everything to me is exciting. So, yeah, I don't, I mean, to me, bass fishing is a riot. I go out to bass fish, John, just for fun. I mean, to me, bass fishing has been my favorite thing in the world since I was old enough to carry a rod. My dad claimed that my first fish was a bass. He said that I walked in the water with a diaper on and a Donald Duck rod. Got my diaper soaked, and he had to like carry me out of the water with a bass on the rod. I mean, I've just bass fishing's just in my genes. It's in my soul. It's my love. If I could one day get a bass boat and actually get into bass tournaments, because it you do need a bass boat to get into a bass tournament. You can't fish them with random boats like I got. But if I could do it one day, I sure would love to, because fishing in the big leagues has been a dream of mine since forever. I grew up watching all the Robin watched it. That's good to know. That's good to know. It's a story that I was told forever, so I've carried it with me. But yeah, I guess going in the water with a diaper and pulling a bass out, that's pretty awesome. So I've fished literally my entire life, and bass fishing has been a huge love of mine. So two of your Amazon Prime remotes. Ugh, there's something about remotes, man. Luckily, she's left my new one alone, but that one she chewed right up. It is the thrill of the catch for sure. And the topwater baits, man, I mean, really, you can't beat that. I mean, watching those fish explode on it. The other day, I swear about crap my pants. I was out with Rick on Cook Pond, and I was fishing. I think I was fishing with, I was using a bass jig and a plastic. I don't even like bass jigs, but I'm trying to learn them. And I was pulling this bass jig out of the water. I got it about that far out of the water, and this pike come flying halfway up the boat and got the tail of the plastic. But it was just so, I mean, that kind of stuff gets your heart going. It makes you feel alive, and it's what keeps me going. I mean, I live for that. That is my true love right there. Yeah, I mean, bass, they're delicious, and I think when I do my catch and cook on them, I'll show you guys what I do to make them good. But if you catch a bass, you can cube that thing up into little, basically nuggets. Make that bass fillet into nuggets. You won't know the difference. You can cook that with a pile of panfish, and I guarantee you aren't going to be able to tell the difference. Guaranteed, you won't be able to tell the difference. That's largemouth and smallmouth. Smallmouth, in my opinion, are a little better. They come out of colder water generally because largemouth like the warm water. That's why you find them up in the shallow stuff, even this time of year. Smallmouth like deep water, they come out of colder stuff. But and it also makes the smallmouth more firm. But I'm telling you, you catch bass, you cube it up into chicken nugget type chunks, shake it up into some dry mix, throw it in the fryer. You're gonna love it. It's really good. Thank you, Biggs. I appreciate that, man. I try, I keep it real. I see so many channels out there with these guys that are just you can tell they're being fake. They're trying to put on a show. To me, that stuff is frustrating. I can watch that for about 2 minutes and I have to shut it off. I can't stand it. You're gonna see though in some of my videos coming up, topwater videos especially. I get so excited. When I caught that biggest bass the other day that's in my thumbnail tonight, I lost it. I mean, I caught that fish and I'm laughing. I went back and watched the footage a few times and it made me smile and laugh. I mean, it was a great time, pulling a fish in that big, and I was pretty proud. I think the best part about that fish is not only did he hit instantly, I mean, that mouse didn't even hit the water and it come out and got it, but I didn't know it was a big fish until it was almost back to the kayak. That fish didn't fight really at all. I was just trying to pull it out of the pads. By the time it got close to the kayak, it did one of them half shakes where it just could lift its head out. That tells you it's huge. I could see right then and there it was a big, big fish. And then, yeah, from then on, it was just a really great time. But yeah, bass is always great. But yeah, but you've got in my opinion, Mike, you've got a bass boat. I mean, your boat's darn good enough to be a bass. It's you definitely don't have a regular aluminum boat. I mean, I know in my boats I couldn't do anything like that. They have a minimum. Those tournaments have a minimum horsepower requirement for takeoff. I've read it in a lot of them. Now, the tournament that me and Officer Paul are going to be doing, luckily there's no requirements, so it's who knows who all's going to be in there, but it's going to be nice. It's going to be nice to be able to actually get into that. Oh, oh, Hank, you turd. That sucks, Paul. Hopefully, it was one of the least favorite seasons. Oh, yeah. Yep, it's fun to watch the dogs work, absolutely. Yeah, for sure. Bass nuggets are great. I don't like I said, I love catching them. So when I see pictures of tons of big bass laid out and stuff, they don't make me happy. I'll be honest there. I don't like it because, there's so many bass out there. Again, with trophy fish, there's no reason to keep all these big fish. It takes them a long time to get where they're at. If you're going to keep them a couple to eat, fine. But I see these limits of giant fish coming in and getting kept, and that drives me nuts. I mean, yeah, people can keep whatever they want, but that's how fisheries get messed up right there. Well, I appreciate it, Biggs. Thank you much, and I hope you have a good night, buddy. I'll chat with you next weekend if you get the chance. Half fried bass sandwich. There you go. Yeah, even the halves. Yeah, but if you cut them into even smaller portions, there's something about that to where the oil or grease, whatever you use, it's going to cook through it more and it gets rid of any. I mean, you will not know the difference between that and a panfish. It's really good. You cut them up into smaller portions. It's definitely the way to go. Ugh. I want to mention again, guys, seems I've only got about 15 more minutes. If you didn't hear earlier, I am going to be making a new line of pounders. Now, they're going to be kind of a mix. I'm trying to decide, I'm not done yet figuring it out, if I want to use these bigger blades that I use on the pig pounder, or if I want to go, I'm probably going to go down to the panty pounder size and stick with that in general because, yes, I like the bigger blade, but I think the smaller blade works maybe a little better for everything. I mean, bass, pike, you name it's going to hit them. The big blade's nice and all, but I think all in all, I'll probably go with the smaller blade. But the worms are going to be 3 inch. All of them now are going to be 3 inch because that's what Brains Baits makes. I'm going to have a bunch, 20 new different colors. They're going to be really nice. They've got cool little paddle tails on them. They are definitely more durable. I fished with them today, caught a ton of fish, and never had a single one tear. Before, if you've used them, sometimes a panfish would bite the tail off. Never bothered me because you could still keep using whatever was left on the hooks and catch fish all day. But it is nice to have a bait though that doesn't break. It's really nice. Thank you, sis. Yeah, if you haven't hit that thumbs up yet, please hit that thumbs up. I appreciate it. I see there's 52 of you watching and 40 thumbs up. Yeah, yeah, it totally makes sense, John. I, I don't even know when I kind of figured that out. It just kind of clicked on me probably 12, 15 years ago. I remember a couple of my friends were saying that they didn't like bass, so I started playing with different things, and I did notice once I started cutting them up into pieces, I'd throw them in with my panfish, give it to my friends, and they never had an idea that they were eating bass. So, yep, it's definitely a great way. Thanks, Paul. I appreciate it. If any of you guys also want to vote on it, Paul just gave his vote about using the smaller blade. If you've used the panty pounders or pig pounders, you would know what these blades are. I personally think the smaller blade's going to be the best with the 3-inch worm. Like I said, I'm gonna 3-inch worm with the pig pounder was kind of tough to hook panfish, but I think it was only because I wasn't spreading these hooks far enough apart. So I'm starting to give a bigger gap on these hooks. I think it's going to make a huge difference in hook sets for panfish because I'm going to make these now to be just all around. These are going to be panty pounder, pig pounder. Rick was saying I should name them a piggy pounder, but they're going to be for literally all species. These things kill, I mean, trout, bass, pike, panfish. If you've seen them in the videos, you know they work. But I'm debating right now to go between the big blade or the smaller blade, but I really think that smaller blade is going to do it better. Also, if I'm going to be cutting myself down to only having 1 pounder instead of pig and panty, I might go to having a gold blade edition next season along with the chrome. I can get away with doing that if I've only got one series. So probably do something like that next year too. Thank you, Steve. I appreciate that. Thank you. Yeah, the pheasant hunt's going to be fun. I need to get a video going because I just haven't got enough guys on here yet to join it. But get tore up bad, the bleeding gills. Yep, it's very. I rarely get them with those gills, the bleeding gill situation. But yeah, if you let them choke the hook too long, it definitely happens. Small blade. Appreciate that, Scott. Thanks. Yeah, the smaller blade. I mean, I liked them both, but the small blade it gives enough flash. If especially if you're going with gold or chrome, I mean, you're gonna get that extra flash. The flash is only needed to draw the attention to the bait. Once the fish sees the worm, then it's game over. That's when they come over and nail it. So really, you just need that little bit of flash. But I think basically these blades are your propeller to keep them somewhat weedless. You can throw these in small patches of lily pads and stuff, but I think that smaller blade is all that's going to be needed. So I appreciate you guys giving me your ideas. Thank you. I was looking at the buzz frog. I wasn't sure. I wasn't sure about that. Because to me it looked like one that could possibly get tangled up with weeds and stuff. Maybe I'm wrong. It just looked like maybe those legs. I think you're talking about the one that has the legs that twist, right? Like a buzz bait. It to me it looked like it could possibly get tangled. I did buy the Booyah pop frog the other day though, because I figured that would give some extra attention. If I could pop it a little bit. But to me, I just love climbing those frogs around all them lily pads and watching a fish just explode. It's so much fun. Even if the fish misses the bait, it's great to see them throw these frogs around, and it just gets your adrenaline going every time. Okay, fillet them, left the skins on. Yeah, I'm sure that's really good. Yeah, I haven't tried that. I'll have to give that a shot. I was never a fan of grilled fish, but I think it was the way my dad did it. It was I That's the only way he ever wanted to do trout or salmon, and I did not like it. Well, that and baked, and I really hated baked fish. That was my I think that's why I've always been big into grease and cooking with a deep fryer. I just did not like baked. Yeah, it definitely sucks when the pay's not worth it. I get that for sure. Yep. If you guys didn't hear already, I know you guys have been watching. I've done a lot of panfish videos, a lot of bass videos lately, some pike mixed in. However, tomorrow, me and Rick, maybe if he's feeling up to it, are going to go up and do some trout fishing off the kayak. So it's going to be a fun time. I haven't done it in a couple years, but I've been looking forward to it. Probably bring the Vexilar and use the flasher under the kayak in the open water or slot. The only thing though that I hate about frogs, and I mentioned this earlier, is you really need the right kind of weather. It's got to if you've got a windy like it's been so windy lately, if you've got a real windy day, most of the time, I mean, you can be making all that noise in those pads. Most of those fish ain't even gonna notice it because it's so dang windy. It seems to me if you can get a glassy day on the water where you can just slap them pads with frogs, that's when you get the most luck. But we just haven't had it. I would love to get a nice calm day where I can go out and get a bunch of explosions on camera. But so far, this season's just really sucked. We haven't had any good days to go out and do that. I've got a couple videos coming up where I did, but it just wasn't really all that great, calm wise. It's been every time it's been blowing one way or the other, so it's been tough. But I do have some decent topwater videos coming out here soon for you guys. Hey there, Brian. Always better than never. Spinner baits are nice too, but I just mean in the not being able to fish those because the thick lily pads are like a hidden gem. They hold so many fish that you really cannot get to without a frog or any other totally weedless topwater bait. Those extremely thick fields of lily pads are just they're a hidden gem. They are a forest of bass, and if you don't get the right circumstances for that, sure, you can throw, I mean, you could throw a fluke or a spinner bait or any other thing really for open water, but to be able to fish topwater like that, it seems like you need a good calm day, and it's just been so crappy lately. Topwater is the best, it really is. Thanks, Brian. Yeah, always good to get one more thumbs up. I do want to mention tonight too, before I get off, Stephen House. I don't know if he's still on here. He was earlier. He's going to be donating a whole bunch more tackle boxes full of stuff like we've done in the past for the auctions. There he is. He's reading my mind. But there's going to be a huge tackle auction next Sunday, guys, on the live. So you're going to want to get in on this. I see there's 50 of you watching. So pay close attention. We're going to have huge tackle auctions going on next Sunday. All kinds of stuff. I'm talking crankbaits, jerk baits, plastics, jigs, the whole nine. There's going to be a whole bunch of stuff. It's crazy. He sent me pictures, and there are some really amazing things he's got put together. So you're going to want to get in on this. Again, that's next Sunday. We're going to be doing a massive auction. Again, Steve House, he's sent some great stuff in the past, lots of great stuff, and he sent me pictures. He's going to be sending a big package again. So it's going to be excellent, guys. I hope you guys enjoy it. So make sure if you get the chance, be on next Sunday because we will definitely be having a huge auction. It's going to be great. It is definitely hard to beat that frog bite. Yep. You get the right timing and the right weather, man. It's frog bite's perfect. Yeah, but Mike, I am talking, I'm not talking just along the edges. When I go out like with my frogs, I will throw that thing until I can't see it no more, man. I will find the biggest, baddest patches of pads just so that I think I have the most fun seeing how non-weedless these things are, and it's amazing that you can throw them so far up into the junk and not get stuck. It's so cool. And those fish are all over in them pads. It's just something you can't do with other stuff. I mean, Yeah, you find a sometimes you find some perfect holes in the patch of lily pads. Great. There's always fish in those, which I'm trying to point out in my topwater videos. You guys will hear me explain some things. Not all pads are created equal. You're looking for points. You're looking for little coves in the pads, open spots. There's always better places to throw in the pads. So you want to look for things like that. But me, I like to throw in every pad that I can find. To me, all that junk is just a gold mine. So I enjoy it. But I try to throw it as deep and thick as I can in there. It's just a lot of fun. Time to take pop bottles back. It's gonna be good. Yeah, next weekend's auction is gonna be really good. So you don't want to miss out. Aw, shout out to Leah. Happy birthday on Tuesday, Leah. She's gonna be 1 year old. Yeah, that'll be my little baby niece. Uh, well, I'm going to be hopping off of here, guys. I hope you guys enjoyed tonight's live. Like I said, I'm going to have some new baits coming out soon, so I hope you're ready for those. It's going to be excellent. I'm going to message the guy about getting all these new colors. There's going to be 20 new colors, including this one, which is called Hobo, and this one here, which is Zombie Blood. And there's going to be just a whole bunch more. All the colors are going to be changing, though, so get ready for a whole new series of colors. I hope you guys enjoy it. Have a great week. I'm going to try and get some good content for you guys, and I will chat with you guys next week.